Have you ever wanted to send a clone of yourself to a meeting so that you don't have to go? It could answer questions, it could give advice, it could know the types of things you know, maybe have access to the meetings that you've been in and inform people and give them feedback and come up with ideas based on the exposures that you've had in your life. Wouldn't that be great? So today I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, thanks for joining me today. Give me a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet and you're liking these videos. So this new tool is called Delphi.ai, and I first learned about it about 6 months ago. They didn't even have this video call feature, but now they have this feature where you can go in and have a video call with an AI avatar. It's the most amazing thing. So why is this important? Well, I think that it makes a lot of sense for people who are super busy or they just have a ton of people that they need to talk to. So think about a call center and think about that first level customer service where they need to know a whole bunch of documentation. They need to know the organization of your company. They need to know the customers and their context and where they're coming from. They need to speak English, fluid English, or some other language. The technology exists now today. This one is called Delphi AI, and you can create this AI copy of yourself to go into video chats. Or you can do the voice, just the voice mode where people can call the number, and it's a way for a lot of people to access the documentation that you would normally refer to while on the job. So if you run a call center or you run an IT service desk or even a sales center where communicating with a plus human being is not necessarily required. People just want to be able to get the information quickly and be able to take action. So one of the cool features of this to do this setup um, in different ways. So you can use Delphi AI. Another way to do it, I think that is potentially much less expensive, is through a company called Enhanced.AI, and I use them all the time. You might have seen a video on this channel with Flux Prompt, their main product, and they have a way of using HeyGen and putting together all the pieces in the background so that not only can it have a conversation, it's not just using ChatGPT, but it's also accessing a database of information so that it can be a well-informed, well-educated call center agent or whatever you need. And it can know when to hand off to a more experienced, more complex human rep. So that can be extremely valuable to have that first line to be able to ask the questions. Okay, did you restart your machine? Can you please restart your machine, right? And then can you log out and log back in? All that stuff. So it gets a lot better than that, as you'll see in the demo at the end of the call. It's pretty amazing what it can do. And the other amazing thing is that it doesn't just answer these questions, right? You can program it with objectives, and I'm talking specifically about Enhanced AI, their version, because I know a little bit more about the back end of theirs. You give it all the data, right? So it can have this highly informed conversation, knowing all about your products, your services, your mission statement, your vision statement, all of your principles, right? And use that as guidelines, knowing all about your customer database, right? Then it can also have this interaction, and it can, like, I mean, you could have it go through a process where the customer has to give you certain information about their account, and then they can work with you and give the customer account information. That would be very cool. And then, so that's all within the scope of what Enhanced AI can do. And then they're able to track the things that happen in that conversation. So you give it these objectives to hit. First, identify the customer, identify their need, and identify which department that they should go to next, or whatever it is. And then, or walk them through these initial 3 steps, and then if you can't solve it, then escalate to this department or whatever, right? So after that, I keep bumping my mic here, sorry, but after that, you can then record you obviously get a recording of the conversation, but it's able to take this information and log it, so you can keep the, what happened on the call, what happened to the eventually to the customer, what steps were taken, and what their responses were, and it can log that data, filling in forms, or even putting in a summary of the call. It can do pretty much all the things that a human would do on a call, um, as long as your system can pull from that database. It could be a Google Sheet, it could be something more complex, but it can push that data to wherever you need it. You build in the API, boom, boom, boom. This whole thing is automated. I'm extremely intensely interested in in seeing this unfold more, because having experienced talking with an AI avatar myself, and again, it's a photorealistic, human looking, human sounding avatar. It's an AI agent, right? Just like you would expect to to show up in the future on a video call. So just like you saw in the thumbnail, you're going to see that now in this demo. So check this out.
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing great.
What's
Nice
going on
haircut,
in your...
by the way. Nice haircut.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate the compliment. So, what's on your mind today?
I was actually
Anything
noticing,
specific you're...
yeah, I was noticing your nice goatee there. How did you decide to grow a goatee?
Ah, the goatee? You know, it just kind of happened. One day I looked in the mirror and thought, why not? It's like a little rebellion on my face. Plus, it adds a bit of character, don't you think? It's
Yeah.
all about trying new things and seeing what sticks. What's your take on facial hair? Ever thought
Well,
about rocking a goatee?
yeah,
All right,
my
I
wife
see you're
doesn't like,
pondering something. What's on your mind?
yeah, my wife
Ah,
doesn't like the goatee. So that will probably never happen. I hope that it will never happen, because that means I'll be with my wife for forever.
ah, hey, hey, man, that's a solid way to look at it. Keeping the peace at home is key, and if that means no goatee, then so be it. You know, it's all about what makes you both happy.
Well,
Plus,
thank you.
it sounds like, hey, you're welcome. It's all about keeping things light and fun, right?
Yeah.
If there's anything else on your mind or...
Well,
All right,
Joe, yeah, I
sounds
see
like
that
you're on
there's a thing here, that
board.
there's a little notification that says the video calling experience is currently degraded. We're working on it. Thank you for your patience. Do you know anything about that?
Ah, the joys of technology, right?
All right. So now that you've seen that, I'm really curious. Did the excessive pausing? Because obviously the pauses are the biggest thing that I noticed. Like, he's kind of like making these weird expressions with his face. He's kind of stumbling over some words. Like when I start to interrupt him, he just kind of keeps talking, which honestly happens a lot in video calls and phone calls alike. With other humans or whatever, but I'm sure that will improve. We've we've got the advanced mode of ChatGPT. If you download the mobile app from OpenAI, then um, if you're on the plus version, it has the enhanced voice mode, which is the latency is very low. It's much lower, I would say, and it's much more natural of a voice. So to me, that says that maybe that feature is not available now um, in these other tools, but that it probably will be soon. Like if one company can figure out how to lower the latency, then other companies can as well. So that's one thing that I look forward to. And I think that makes it like a little bit harder to deal with. But at the same time, if I want faster, cheaper, better access for simple questions that, maybe it can memorize, memorize, I'm saying memorize as if it was a human, but maybe it can access 5,000 pages of documentation, and it can do that better than a call center agent. How many times have you talking with a call center have you talked with a call center agent and they don't have the information you need, or they tell you the wrong thing? I've had that happen lots of times where basically the technology has been updated, maybe their policies have been updated, their documentation may have been updated in hundreds of different ways, but did everybody make it to the training? Did they remember the training, or did they remember that the way that it used to always work before? If somebody's out on leave, or they're sick, or they didn't pay attention in the training, or they tried to pay attention and they didn't quite catch it all, those are all reasons why a human call center agent, or a human that you would talk to in any circumstance, could potentially drop the ball and not give you the right information. Otherwise, there's the big possibility that the company just didn't pay for quality training. They didn't create quality training. I've had I have a master's degree in instructional psychology and technology, helping organizations and teams and individuals to improve their performance through learning strategies. And so that's been a big part of my career. And I can tell you that very rarely will an organization put up the dollars to adequately train their people. It's very rare. And so, how many companies, how many organizations could benefit from something like this, where it's like, well, let's just get, spend the money to create the avatar for one person. When you think about, if we could save like 500 humans per year who are working on this, or you've got a call center of even 50 people, like, is that worth, let's say it's, well, let's go way big, let's say it's $100,000 to get this thing all nailed down, right? And $100,000 a year, that's like four call center agents, maybe fewer. And like that's like assuming it's like way more than I really think it is. um but then you have that forever, and you can just change the documentation and lickety split, like instantaneously you've trained your workforce how to do this differently. So if you have gone through all this thinking before, like this video, give me a comment. If this is new to you, like this video, give me a comment. Tell me what your concerns are about this. Tell me, was the demo like terrible from your perspective? Try it out yourself and tell me what questions that you want to ask, or that you did ask on Delphi.ai. There's several different celebrities that have put their avatar there, and I believe they're using them functionally to help their businesses at this point. It's incredible from my perspective. But let me know if you're not convinced, or if you're thinking like, this will never be a human replacement as far as like this task goes. Now, I think humans can do some more unique things right now that this can't do. Right? There's some things that this is going to have a hard time with, where it would be better to have a human there at this point. And so it's not a, total call center replacement. I don't even think that would be fair clickbait at this point. But there's definitely a space for it, right? There's a space for it anytime you have to answer questions uh with clients. And most of the time you're not even having to do the video. So that is a much, much less expensive endeavor. If you're just like, oh, we just need somebody to be on the phone with these people, well, that's a completely, like, that's much, much less expensive, much simpler to do. So anyway, and also, of course, reach out to me if you want to build something like this, and I'll help you get set up for the best possible deal for what you need. So I hope you have a great day, and that you really enjoy thinking about this and talking about it with your friends. Tell your friends about my channel if you love it, and I'd love to respond to any requests that you have for future videos. Have a great day.